welcome to 108 Gate. We're doing a bonus Divine Feminine reading. One, because it was too intense to kind of just keep it containing one, and then two, the video actually just cut out, so took out that thing, whatever it was, come back with a start to the extended reading. So we are going to start with the Root Chakra tuning forks first. So if you don't want to hear it, mute now, and then when I come back, start moving the cards, then you'll know we started again. So here we go. So if you watched the Divine Feminine reading before this one, there was a energy at the beginning that felt very went serious, really serious, and then as the reading goes on, kind of understood why it started off serious and went to more serious. Anyway, it felt like at some point it's like, okay, don't be so dramatic, don't be so whatever. But at the same time, when I saw that the video had stopped, something popped up in my feed, and it was talking about the ostrich effect, the ostrich kind of approach to things, which was so perfectly timed. Anyway, so I'm going to get one of these while I'm talking. So the ostrich effect is, the ostrich kind of approach is when someone's burying their head in the sand, and they will do anything and everything they possibly can to not look at what's actually happening around them, which was kind of a little bit when I say perfectly timed, it was literally what was happening over here in this corner that we that I had to just kind of like, we're not even having this in the energy, because when others are keeping their head in the sand, when others around us are in denial of what's actually happening, it's kind of it impacts us in some way, because if you think about how you've been conditioned as a child, how you've been brought to the where you are now, and all these distortions and distractions and this, that and the other, at some point it was a small kind of detail that was ignored. It was a small kind of, it doesn't matter, just leave it, ignore it, don't worry, it's not a big issue. It becomes another issue, it expands. Before you know it, you've distorted so many things in so many ways that you're actually off your life path. So this is why I'm doing the extended, because yes, there was the energy coming up of when it stopped, it's like, don't be so dramatic. That's what I heard. It was like, okay, but that was an intense energy. It was quite a strong visceral implosion, so to speak, and this energy here, although it doesn't present as a threat, it's not an obvious threat, as in it's wielding a weapon and coming towards you. It's a different kind of threat. It's a different kind of threat to your inner well-being, to your inner sanctity, to your inner security. So that's why, on some level, it doesn't appear to be a threat. Therefore, that you may have actually heard that response of, don't be such a drama queen, or don't be so sensitive, or don't be so dramatic. And in that is an alert. That is something to say that just because somebody else wishes to put their head in the sand, the ostrich approach, or whatever it's called, the ostrich something, doesn't mean you have to. In fact, you have enough evidence of why you shouldn't be putting your head in the sand with others. If they want to do that, that's with them, that's on them. Don't go and join them and stick your head in the sand if you choose to not. If you do choose to, then you're probably not going to be watching any more of my videos. Anyway, so let's see what we got here. Let's get one of these first. Courage. Courage. Can we see that? Right, let's get that there. Well, that's not good, is it, when you got that there? Let's stick it there. Right. Courage. This is going to require courage, is being brave, being strong, and believe in what you're doing and why you're doing it. again, it's not why as in questioning, it's why as in like affirming to yourself, because there will be questioning of your motives. There will be question, not from yourself but others. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? In a question, this is why I'm doing it, as an affirmative of a reason, a reaction to their question. Doesn't mean that they're going to like the reaction, the answer to the question. It doesn't mean that they're even going to agree. It doesn't mean they're even going to understand it. The point is that you have the courage to do what you need to do for your well-being and to protect what you need to protect. So let's go here. Emperor, definitely, if any part of this is resonating, please do check out the Divine Masculine reading, because it was on another level of like, let's just get calm here and let's get prepared. And it's like, prepared for what? Now we know. This inner conflict is going to be difficult because it's going to be pulling on all of those things and times and energies of being emotionally blackmailed, of feeling like you're unkind, of feeling people making you feel like you're inconsiderate and this, that and the other. It's going to be pulling on all of those internal things. I don't know about you, but I think and feel that that it's going to be bringing up a lot. It might even bring it up in clusters, big clusters, chunks. So now, just to quickly put this in now, Sun is at 2 degrees Aquarius. So it's getting further and further away now from Pluto. Pluto is 0 degrees Aquarius. This is when some of the boop is going to be hitting the fan. So Venus is at 0 Capricorn. So there's certain things now going to be shifting from going fast into slow. Hold on, let's take a look here. With Capricorn, new strategies, new structures coming in the loving space, in the heart space. What do you love? What do you not love? As you're going more and more towards those with courage, going more and more towards what you love, what you appreciate, where you're aiming for, what you intend to invest yourself into, the more you're going to have the opposing energies coming in for a short while. Well, I don't know how long short is, but to remember that this isn't going to be forever. It's just that when you're directing yourself in one way, don't be surprised if another thing comes in and says, no, don't go. Exactly the same analogy I used before, as in like an action film. When you see one particular person trying to do good, trying to save something or trying to do whatever, it's a bit of it feels like a cheap analogy, but it is what it is. That's what I'm seeing. But then there's that not so friendly influence, shall we say, that holds the ankle and pulls them back in or tries to hurt them or throw them. Do you know what I mean? Causing destruction. Some of this destruction that's coming in, it's about self-preservation. So you may be perceived as the destructive one. You may be perceived as breaking something up or destroying something. But when you're looking at the truth of the matter, this is the tricky part. When somebody's looking in at the truth from a space of denial, they're not actually seeing the truth. But when you're seeing the truth, from perspective of truth, it's a whole different picture. But the thing is, how do you know which one is which? How do you know which is the truth from denial and the truth from truth? Because I can pretty much shouldn't assume, that the people who are looking at truth from denial, they're going to believe that they're correct too. They're going to believe that their argument, their point stands up just as true. That's where time comes in. That's where faith and trust comes in. That's where your intuition and instinct kicks in. That's where the importance of you just staying on your path, because you know it's true for you, because you feel it's true for you, because you've done that objective assessment. It's now about having the courage to see it through. So again, remembering that Neptune is at 25 degrees Pisces. Saturn is at 5 degrees Pisces. The rules and all of that stuff, they're just being like, what was going on and what is going on? So for there to be so much denial going on, I'm not surprised. Right. So at some point there was this feeling of there's 9 cups. Again, this feels like you've worked for this, you've to get this, you've had to work for it. You've had to go through certain, like slogging through certain things. You've had to go through certain ordeals to get it. You haven't come out unscarred. You haven't come out just like, woo, hunky-dory, all shiny and bright. You've had to work for it. So the Emperor, the divine masculine, this feels like a divine masculine energy coming in and saying, just keep loving yourself. Make sure you're doing the basics. Maslow's hierarchy of needs again. Make sure you're doing the basics and you focus on your higher perspective, your higher aim, your higher goal. Do not let anything slide in and just kind of distract you from that. You've worked hard to get to where you are now, and you haven't come to this point without your own physical, emotional, financial, whatever, spiritual damage along the way. So preserve yourself. Therefore, as you're going along the way, making sure that you've got luscious amounts of love with you. Go along each step with awareness, accountability, and precision of understanding where this line is of truth, because it's going to be easy for someone to come in at some point and dissuade you from where you're going, or to kind of present an old issue and argue for it, when you know that you've been through all of this against it. The mind is very delicate. The mind is easily swayed this way or that way. So, like I say, you don't have to take my word for anything. You choose to watch it or not. I just simply read the room, so to speak, the cards, the astrology, and the energy. You decide to listen or not. You decide to whatever. You don't have to be mean. You just have to simply switch off or keep watching. I ain't saying you've got to watch. I'm not imploring you to. I'm not forcing you to. I'm just simply saying, when I'm saying this, I mean it as in, like, this is sincerely the energy I'm reading. This is sincerely the message, and you do what you decide to do with it. You know where you are. You know your truths. You know where you've been. You know where you're heading, not me. And vice versa. So, that energy that was coming up before really got it, like, strength with strength. Strength came up before, courage and strength. Really making sure that you're holding tight to what you've got, holding tight to knowing I've worked hard to this. This is why it's important, and it's interesting that it's coming up here now, that it's important to hindsight. It's not always about you've got through it and don't look back. This is the important time to look back and think to yourself about, I got through this, I got through that, I got through this, I got through that. I don't know quite how I got through some of those things, but I know I'm here right now. I know I got through somehow. This is why I'm here now. And keeping that in mind, keeping that in your cup, protecting everything you fought for, protecting everything you have gained, protecting everything you've made sure that you will not be swayed along this way or that way. But when you're hurting like that, it's easier to get defensive. When you're hurting like that, it's easier to become pliable in the sense of you stand up for yourself more so, rather. So as you're coming to a turn, as you're coming to a new space of now, some things have come to a conclusion and you're moving on to the next steps. A new challenge is coming in with your internal conflict. This is where you've got to build your inner warrior of an internal space, your psychological, your emotional, your spiritual, your mind needs to be sharp. Your mind needs to be intact. Your mind needs to be so freaking aware of what's going on, especially now Pluto going into Aquarius. You need to be aware of where to go, where not to go. Get that sensation of, I'm not sure about this. Trust that sensation. If you don't trust something, then don't do it. Don't go until you either completely mistrust it, distrust it, or completely trust it. You decide on which way you're going. Don't let someone come in and sway you one way or the other. You know, you decide. Four of Cups. So this is coming in again. Is that that things on each side. So there's going to be things that come in, opportunities that come in. There's going to be options that come in. There's going to be this, that, and the other that comes in. But do you see the ones that are hidden? Because you're focusing on the ones that are not actually there. So it's this feeling again of like someone who's in denial. If they come in and start talking to you about a particular thing, and then you kind of get distracted, even just in a slight thought to where they're going. Oh, I wouldn't mind trying that. Oh, they've actually got a point there. It's very delicate, very delicate. When you're looking at this cup, make sure it suits you. Make sure it's fitting for you. Make sure it's appropriate for you. Their cup is their cup. Their path is their path. It has nothing to do with where you're heading. Get your cup, your emotions, your awareness with the clarity of where you're heading and why you're heading there, and keep focused on that. So still, so calm, so focused that nothing can sway you from it. If you have to write it on a whiteboard, if you have to write it on a post-it note, if you have to have a keyword to just keep reminding yourself to stay there, because it does feel like there's going to be a bit of rough water, and possibly even rougher water after that, around the emotions, around what is true, what is not true, what is the correct thing to do, what is not the correct thing to do, where are we supposed to go, where are we supposed to stay away from, what are the rules now, what are these things, what are those things. So you're going to get pulled in two directions. This came up again. When you're pulled in two directions, what strategies have you got to keep yourself firm on ground? What strategies have you got in place to make sure that you're not getting swayed? How can you identify in your emotions, in your thoughts, in your energy field, in your behaviours? How can you identify when you're feeling solid, and how can you identify when you're feeling a bit wobbly? Understand them, learn them, know them, trust them, and ground in them. Let them ground in you. Integrate. Literally seeing, I don't know what's going on. Well, this is a bit of a turn. I didn't expect this. Queen of Swords. You know where you've got to go. You know where you've got to go. You know what you've got to do. Focus on it and do it. Do not get swayed. Seeing like a property with wood panels on the windows protecting it from winds, and there's like gale force winds outside, or there's it is quite stormy here, but it's not stormy. Well, it is quite stormy here, but it's not here. It's a bigger kind of house. It's a different kind of space. It's more like a kind of film scene kind of thing. But that's the thing, is that this isn't a film. This is your life. This is the reality of it all. Like I said, it's a general reading, so this is not about being scary or whatever. It's just literally, this is the energy that's coming in. I'm relaying it. You know, I don't do extendeds very often. Not yet, anyway. I am looking to do it as a regular thing, but right now I don't do it because I'm trying to get other things in place first. Again, staying focused on doing that. So I totally get where this is coming from. Stay focused on doing that. It takes one small thing to distract you, and then before you know it, you've lost time, you've lost energy, you've lost this, you've lost that. Stay focused and stay firm. Right, I think we can shut it up. Shall we shut it up? Let's have one shuffle of these. Definitely don't need no more of those. This one wants to come out. There you go. 6 of Cups. Keep focused. You've got those there, support. There. You've got 3 here. Build in the correct direction. 3, 3. You've got your foundation. You know that. Now get those opportunities, those things that work for you, those things that are made for you, those things that you are made for, and start stacking those things up. Focus on those. Focus on those. Focus on those. Like I said, I don't want it to be all scary and whatever, but always look for the optimistic point, the realistic optimism. Go to there. Look at it constructively. Knight of Pentacles. Keep investing your time, energy and effort into something that's worthwhile. Stack up those cups. Keep that as a guiding reference. Judgment. the more you do this, the more you're going to benefit. The more you do this, the more you're going to feel the benefit. You're going to see the benefit, and it's going to encourage you then in this particular direction. When you go in that direction, then you'll start feeling the pressure easing off. As the pressure eases off, you're going to start seeing more so of what you do need, what you do want to do, where you're going, and the other stuff that's going to be pulling for a while, that will dissipate. But the thing is, you can't go around it, you can't go under it, you've got to go through it. So while you're going through it, being really diligent to be attentive to the details, be attentive to how you're feeling, be attentive to those thoughts. I think it was yesterday, there you go, attentive to your thoughts. Making sure you're attentive to what is happening, attentive to your thoughts, attentive to your thoughts, attentive to your thoughts. Was it yesterday's reading, I think? When you have those doubts in your mind of, did I hear something or did I see something? And someone says, no, you didn't. But in truth, they're lying to you. They don't want you to see something. They don't want you to hear something. They don't want you catching them out with something. That's what you need to keep an eye out for. You've got Four of Cups again. Make sure you're careful of what's being offered to you. You have to discern which is the correct one. You need to refine and define and strengthen your intuition and instinct to be able to do this accurately and appropriately for yourself. That's now done. So I'm going to do another 3 of the root chakra. If you'd like a personal reading, it's 108gate@gmail.com. If you do not want to hear the tuning fork, thank you for being with us. See you soon. If you do want to, here we go and enjoy. Take care, peace and love.